Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a great day today. In today's video, what I want to do is talk a little bit about my diabetes. Now, for those of you who are new or that you don't know, I am a type 1 diabetic. I had been misdiagnosed type 2 for many years, from March of 2008 until September of 2017. And I had been pre-diabetic for quite a few years before I was diagnosed in 2008. But what happened was, I have an endocrinologist who swore up and down my diet was terrible, it was all my fault, I was eating wrong, and that I was causing my own diabetes. So she did the test. She took the C-peptides, and what the C-peptides does, it measures, the amount of insulin in your system and how, how your body reacts and whatnot. So what happened was that she measured my it measures, your pancreas, how the output of insulin to your body, whether you are in normal range, insulin resistant, or you make little to no insulin. So there's like a gap, like 0.8. So I don't know what the high range is, but if you're below that 0.8, you are a type 1 diabetic. So mine was basically, I made no insulin, and it kind of took the wind out of her sails because she wanted to spend her time screaming and yelling at me. Well, right now I am in the process of changing endocrinologist. I have an appointment with my new one, but not for a couple more months. But I'm getting sidetracked here. So in the meantime, what I had done and requested and was approved for was the Dexcom G5 continuous glucose monitor. Now, I don't think I've ever showed you guys on camera how I insert this. Sometimes I insert it on my abdomen, sometimes I have it on my arm. But for today's video, I wanted to show you the sensor. So when you put this on, when you get your package, you get a sensor. This is the sensor right here. You get it in a package just like this. This is the oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Dexcom G5 Mobile G4 Platinum sensor. I have a G5 Mobile, and so this is how it sticks on, and this is one I removed from me. I have the transmitter still attached. So this is the transmitter right here. That has its own battery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the transmitter off and show you what the sensor looks like. So to take the transmitter off, I'm just going to squeeze the sides and off she goes. So when you have this on, it will be stuck like this, and there's a certain way of putting on. But I'm going to show you guys how I put this on my arm. Now this is a little tricky. One time I did this, I made a mistake. I put it on my left arm, my right arm, and I'm not left-handed, so I had a really difficult time getting the angle right, putting the cannula in to measure. So I'm going to try to do this on camera with you guys so we can see. So what I would do is I have this is the transmitter here. This would transmit to my app, which is on my phone, so I won't be able to show you guys how I do the startup, but I will do, I'll show you how I insert this onto my arm. Yes, I have plenty of bruises all over me, but that's perfectly normal. That's what happens when you're on blood thinners. Okay guys, so my hands are clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take an alcohol wipe. You can also use hand sanitizer with a small drop and rub it on here if you're doing this at home all the time and you're not doing this while you're out. I just have these here for convenience only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to wipe the back of my arm for the place where I want this to go, and I think I'm going to put it probably closer to the back here. Now, it is not approved to be worn on the arm. I should note that to everybody who has the Dexcom. The FDA has only approved it to be used on the abdomen. For whatever reason, the readings are exactly the same whether you have it on your arm or your abdomen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this package up and let you guys see what it looks like when I get it out. Fun stuff, right? Being a diabetic. And open this guy up, and this is what it looks like. Yes, it's a lot of waste, but unfortunately I have to do this. And you can see that this is curled down. What I do is I take them and I curl them back just a little bit, so that way they will stay on. And there's 2 tabs on here, and I'll show you what that means. Okay. So you see I curled it back a little bit. It's really not that big of a deal. And there's 2 tabs. There's one here and one here. And I'll pull this one off, the first one. That one's off. And I'll try to put, the second one is always the issue. So I have to be really careful when I pull a little bit back. Yeah, there we go. I messed it up. I always mess them up. What the heck? And you can see it looks like that. That's the sticky part that you saw. Like that. See, it's the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on the back of my arm. Now I have to be really careful how I place this. I'm going to put my arm over like this. And I'm going to stick it on right there. You see that? She's stuck. Sometimes it falls over, sometimes it doesn't, but it's okay. No, I think I got it right there. I go around and try to make sure it is on there pretty well. Now I don't have any of the grips to put on here to hold it on, so I'm usually pretty careful with these. Sometimes I have to change them out a day before the sensor is about to die out, which is 7 days. So there's a safety on here. This right here is a safety. So I pulled off the safety. And now the fun part comes when I have to push the needle, the cannula in. And I hate doing this because sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I bleed and I have to start over. So I'm going to push this guy in. The struggles of being a type 1. I got it. Okay. Got it all the way. You see how it went click, click? Then I push this part, it has to go back up. Okay, it doesn't want to come back up. Okay, now it's all the way up. I don't see any blood there. And then this, I have to squeeze. See, there's 2 spots. One here and one here that I need to squeeze to get it off. There, got it off. And then what I need to do is get my transmitter, and I put the transmitter, the smaller side goes first. Ouch! Oh, I hit myself with my own transmitter. And I push that there, and then I take the bar, that's in, and then I just take that off. I can get it off there. And now my Dexcom is on. So when I get off my phone, what I do is, it says the top, the sensor 2-hour warm-up. That's what I will do, and then you can go from there, and it takes about 2 hours like it says. I've had it take actually an hour and a half. It didn't take 2 hours to warm up because the sensor, this has to detect, like, you know, changes in the bloodstream, you know, have the ebb and flow of your body, and it'll pick up exactly where it is, and then you have to calibrate it. You take 2 readings initially from your blood sugar with your meter, which I have in my Omnipod bag. Really easy to do. And then you enter them both. It averages it out according to what it translated on the sensor there, and then you're good to go. And these last for 7 days. People have restarted it. You can restart it as long as your sensor is fine. I mean, the battery is going to last the same amount of days no matter what you do. It's just that these guys are the ones that expire within 7 days. Sometimes I've had one expire earlier on me because it was not still intact, so it expired earlier. So yeah, guys, this is the one way I keep myself in line with my diabetes. It's a matter of control, and the reason why I have this is because I have a long history of hypoglycemia, which means my blood sugar can go super low, super quick, super fast. I mean, it's just, I can be at a normal level and it can plummet because I'm so sensitive to insulin, which is really, you would think it would be completely unusual being a type 1, that I wouldn't. But being type 1, I have a lot of the changes to the extreme, whereas if I was a real type 2, I would not have those changes to that extreme like that. And my A1C is great, but the reason why my A1C is great is because I have highs that are really high and lows that are really low. So when they average it out, it looks like my A1C is in excellent range, and it is, but it's a deceptive range. That's why I have to have the Dexcom or any continuous glucose monitor. Now, I had thought about going on the Freestyle Libre. I had that on one time when my endocrinologist wanted to test me to see if where my blood sugars were, whether or not I would need the Dexcom, and I just wore the Libre. She had the machine. I didn't scan it or anything, but it did read them for over 2 weeks. She took the Libre off, read it, and said that my numbers were crazy. But I mean, have any of you used the Dexcom and the Libre? Let me know if you have and what you think about both, because I've only had the Dexcom for a long time. I've had it since last October. Was it October? November I started. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Okay, so I've had this about 8 months now, and I'm just curious because I would really like to know which one is better, if you guys know. Okay, so let me know what you think about me, how I keep my type 1 diabetes manageable with my Dexcom. Okay, guys, so take care. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see you all on the next video. Okay, bye, guys.